now start new lesson. If you start that lessons are there, that time which lesson be Dusri Ganesha. I write the name of that lesson, which is this, force and pressure. When you study about that lessons are there, each and every day we want to teach us about new concept. If you want to learn them are there, that time I will recap those points which are already teachers from my sides, and you learn from your sides which are there. When you study about that lesson, first of all, we try to understand what is the real meaning given by force and pressure. Not textbook example. I also take daily and general life example which suggests that you can do any work because of force and pressure. I am not going too much information related with this because these are all already completed points now. Next of all, we try to observe what are the two questions given advice for you. Which are the types of forces and Newton's law. These are also learned because of force. When it is work, that time he study, already teacher teaches lot of from their side with general examples, student not getting that idea. He have ignorance in its mind. That's why he in your textbook different pictorial view. With then from that pictorial, somewhat gravitational, somewhat electrostatics, somewhat magnetic, centripetal, all forces are there, but they are classified into two ways. First of all, contact force. If in between object and another material there is a one type of closest relationship, that time contact force. Again he said opposite to them, what do you mean by non-contact? If there is a non-contact or not attachment in between two objects, that time it is known as non-contact force. It is also completed from my side. We are in just next page where balance, unbalanced force we also study and ready or learn. Sir, if it is over that time next point which I tell, those points which can learn out today, it is known as teaching point. Sir, what do you mean by teaching point? Those moment, those hour, those minute which can be handled explanation for only and only. It is known as teaching point. That's why I write the name of teaching point. Name of this is the inertia. Sir, what do you mean by inertia? I have no idea. I have a lot of teachers about force and pressure. That's why what they suggest, how I detected, how I confirm that are inertia. Because of explanation of inertia, I give simple example. Take a beaker. If you take any glass container, which can be certain shape and size, any glass or plastic you can be selected. If you selected, on them, above them, take a one cardboard rectangular sheets. It can be placed on the brim or edges of that beaker. If it is holes are there, that time next arrangement which I do. I put 5 rupees coin at the near and middle side of that cardboard sheets. Which action you can do after one. I do smallly shakable movement toward the car. Why sir do it? I want to observe somewhat object, not somewhat object. Every object has its own tendency, own capacity, own achievement. It does not, what I say, it does not change its position. It remains as it is stationary, whatever force can be applied. Before them, we also learned the 3 points. Which are them? Lot of force can be act on same object. That how you calculate total force? Total force is equal to summation of all forces. If two forces in opposite direction, how you calculate it? You can be calculated by difference between higher force minus lower force. Next of all, we observe important property of force. Force is a vector quantity. Vector, once again I say vector quantity. Why? It has both magnitude and direction. Force changes motion. Force changes direction. Force changes shape and size. These are the silent features can be given by forces. Here another quantity, it is also force. What do you mean by inertia? Inertia is also force but does not change its position. Its location, its remain state as it is. That are inertia. What I do after one? Use shakable movement. I want to move that card by using fingers. If I give small force toward the fingers, that time my acceptation along with card, that 5 rupees kind also follow, but not doing. He says that whatever pressure can be applied to card sheet, only card sheet reaches to another level and that 5 rupees coin drop all inside the glass paper. Sir, what is happening? That time he says that it does not change its position. That are inertia. Inertia means what? Inertia is also one type of. I stand in front of you. These are my inertia. Why? It does not move here and there. That point remain as it is. Whatever second movement you can be given four edges of four cards. Does not showing any movement. That are inertia. That's why definition. Tendency of object. What I say. Listen carefully. What I say. Tendency of object to remain as its position. It does not change its location. It is known that property of object. It is known as inertia. Inertia is also force. But he says that whatever force you can be applied on any direction, I keep is as it is. Remain stationary, does not move my position. That time that are not forces. That are type of forces in the form of inertia. That's why tendency, ability, capacity, achievement, one type of aggressive nature, one doing their form, whatever force you can be do, reject everyone and stay that position as it is. That is known as inertia. That inertia can be classified into major way. Which are the types of inertia? First of all, it can be done on the basis of motion. And second of all, it can be done on direction. What I say? Inertia, I also say another third position. So what do you mean by position? That remain as it is, that are also inertia due to position. Second of all, inertia due to motion. Suppose that I give example. Electric fan can be rotate around in your class. If I switch off the button, that time what due to responsibility of that fan? Automatically they can be stopped at that moment, but does not occur. It continues its rotary motion. That's why those fans which are already started, it given its own motion. It is in motion after stoppable movement. It does not stop. It continues their motion. That's why these are the which type of inertia? It is known as motion inertia.